Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 1763. Guys, if you're following along on YouTube, please jump on over to the WODdoc.com and check out all the full-length videos that we house there. Today what we're doing is talking about different torso angles at the bottom of the squat and how they're affected by lower limb length ratios, meaning the difference between your tib-fib length and your femur length. We're going to just for today assume that torso angle is the same and torso length is the same and foot length is the same, although they obviously vary between person to person. All we're talking about today is the ratio of lower leg length, tib, fib, and femur, okay? So to set up a person, right, a squat person, I'm gonna first draw a weight, okay? This is the barbell. Not very good, I gotcha. And the weight's going to come straight down because that's the way gravity takes it, right? Now we have several levers, okay? And if this is my foot, I know that I want the weight to be somewhere towards the posterior portion of my foot. If this is my tib-fib length, right? And this is my femur length, and this is my back length, okay? That's gonna give me whatever this desired angle is, right? Because of this length and this length, okay? So if my femur length is, my tib-fib length is X and my femur length is X, this is the angle that I need to be to stay where the weight is going straight down, right? If not, if that weight comes forward, right, I get pushed forward. If the weight goes backwards, I get pushed backwards, right? So for this particular ratio that I just drew there randomly, that's what it's gonna be. Now, let's assume that this person has what they say relatively short tib fibs, right? So I'm gonna draw this in red. If I was to do that same angle, and I have relatively short tibia and fibulas, right? In perspective to the one that I drew as like the control, right? And I don't change the femur length, right? So my tibias are short and my femur length is tall. If I keep this about the same, okay, that's gonna put me all the way back to here. So for me to get, because this foot length is still the same, right? That hasn't changed. For me to get back to that midline where that weight has to be, I need a steeper torso angle because this angle has to be the same. This length has to be the same. So I'm going to have to come back at a steeper torso angle, right? Because the torso angle we're assuming is the same between the two. So in the case that I have a short tibia length in ratio to a longer femur length, I'm going to have a more acute angle on my torso angle for my squats, okay? Now, let's do the reverse here. I don't have another colored marker, so you're gonna have to run with me here. Let's assume on this one, for the sake of it, that we have a short femur length in perspective to tibia length. So that means that short femur in perspective to tibia. So we're gonna change the length of the femur now. So if tibia fibula stay the same, okay, and I have relatively short femurs, you're going to notice that now my torso angle has to be much more vertical to support that weight, right? And actually probably even more than that in the example that I just gave. It's probably much more like almost vertical, right? So the moral of this story is not to say that every squat angle, torso angle should look the same. What it is that it should be consistent. So if you're a person that has relatively long femurs, in retrospect, so tib fib is short in retrospect to your femurs, you're going to have a torso angle that is more acute than if you have short femurs in retrospect to your tibia length. So it just has to do with a lower length change, or a lower length ratio, I should say, okay? The big thing is once you establish where that is, where your torso angle is all the time, that is what we want to be that is what we want to try to get as a repeatable effort. Cool? So I hope this clears some things up for you guys looking to know what your torso angle should be. I get that a lot on the channel, so I just want to be able to pass it along to you guys. Questions, comments, post them below, guys. We will be here each and every day optimizing function to optimize performance.